has found itself. Here come the Cowboys, a team that was running away with negative turnover ratio, leading the league at the bottom of the barrel in turnover ratio, has suddenly flipped the switch and the script. And all of a sudden, over 3 games, they've taken it away 10 times and lost only 1. 10-1 over 3 games. Andy Dalton has flipped his script. He's back to that Andy Dalton who won 10 games a year for his first 5 years in Cincinnati and made 4 times, went to the playoffs 4 times. And he's 7 touchdowns to just 1 interception over the last 3 games. And you can laugh if you want about my team going to Cincinnati and beating them 30-7. But Pittsburgh went in there 8 days later and got thumped 27 to only 17. And you can laugh all you want about my team hanging 41 on San Francisco. But San Francisco on Saturday held Kyler and company in a stadium they share now as their home stadium in Phoenix. Held them to 12 points. So 41 my team scored, and then all of a sudden that team holds Kyler and company to only 12. And yesterday my team scored 37 more points on a Philly. I grant you no Fletcher Cox. 2 of the DBs were out, but Darius Slay came back. And that same Philly defense against New Orleans just 3 games ago in Jalen's first start held, again, Taysom Hill and company to only 21 points. Something is happening in Dallas. Here they come. And the most gratifying development of all to me yesterday was that, as Michael Vick points out, they fell behind 14-3 pretty quickly thanks to an 81-yard bomb to a man that Michael Vick knows very well, a partner in crime for him in the past in touchdown crime, because he used to throw bombs to Deshaun Jackson, and he's still running past people and catching them. And I'm not sure why they didn't throw him another pass the whole game, but they did not. He has a history of not playing big against Dallas, but that was big, the 81-yarder. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know if we just shut him out or Jalen couldn't find him. But speaking of Jalen, Shannon thought he played poorly. I'm going to get Michael's view on this in just a moment. But Jalen Hurts combined for 411 yards. That's 342 passing and added another 69 running. I thought he played very well, but he made one big mistake mid-4th quarter on the end zone interception that he threw on 3rd and 12 from the 17-yard line. He got hemmed in. I think he wanted to run it. At the last second, he couldn't get outside, pulled up, and made a bad idea throw that got picked off by Anthony Brown on the goal line. So that was the one bad play, because the fumble that he was credited with was not a fumble. His knee was down, and it could have really changed the game. My team got a break. My team hasn't gotten any breaks all year, and it got a big break on that one. Then Jalen threw a late desperation interception that Trevon Diggs got. I'm not going to dock him for that one. So he made one bad play the whole game. Other than that, I thought he was pretty spectacular, because the 2 teams combined for the most yards ever in any Dallas-Philadelphia game in history of this rivalry. They had almost 1,000 yards, 990 yards. So both quarterbacks were lighting it up. But I was proud of my quarterback because he didn't quit at 14-3. Here they came, and they just poured it on, and they were ahead 20-17 at halftime.
Was it a question of both offenses lighting it up or both defenses stinking it up?
Well,
because if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they did a lot to hurt themselves. Skip 12 penalties for 115 yards.
Yep.
Who you think you're going to beat like that? And
6 false starts.
And you turned the ball over 3 times. Mike, let me ask you a question. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, the quarterback that scores no points turned the ball over 3 times in the second half, and his name is Carson Wentz. Although he has a nice game, he throws for like 350, and he runs for another 60 yards. But he turns the ball over 3 times in the second half, and he scores no points. What would be written about him in Philly today?
He would have turned it over.
I asked Michael Vick, because Michael played in Philly. I want you to tell me, Michael, what would be written? What would the writers?
They don't care about the stats in Philly. They're going to talk about the turnovers regardless. Whatever that storyline going to read, it's going to have something in line with the turnovers, without a doubt.
Because we just watched, you remember last year, Mike, we watched Lamar Jackson. Lamar had over 500 yards of total offense against the Tennessee Titans, 140-something rushing, 360 passing, but we like, bro, that's empty calories. Bro, you turned up, but he also had 3-4 turnovers.
Early.
Skip.
Early.
But that's put them in position.
He didn't lead 14-3. Skip.
That's my point. Which should go, the quarterback should get even more blame, Mike. You up 14-3. You got to bring that one home.
Listen, it's going to be a lot of give and take throughout the course of a football game. And for Jalen Hurts, let's not forget he's only a rookie who hasn't had any preseason training camp or OTA. So he's still learning on the job. You know, he's been learning, vicariously, for the last 3 or 4 months. That's not going to cut it. I think the game changed when, Doug Peterson went for it on 4th down. It was like 4th and 9, and it was 27-17, I think. And it was like a desperation move. You put the team in a bad situation. They end up getting the ball back and having the chance to go down because Dallas didn't score off the change of possession. And, now Jalen Hurts is pressing. Now he's trying to do more. Now he's trying to put the ball in the end zone. I can only imagine the pressure that's on him, trying to win a football game for a franchise that needs a win so desperately. So now he's pressing. He puts the ball on the ground. It wasn't a fumble. And he's trying to put a ball in the end zone. He throws the interception. That's normal. Some things are going to happen. He's not perfect. He's still young. So, I think the coach has to put him in a better position. And obviously Jalen's going to learn from those interceptions and that turnover. But, he went for 400 yards plus in terms of total yards. So, it's for Philadelphia, you can look towards the future because they got some big things popping over there. They just got to put it all in perspective and get back on the right train.
I thought Dougie P got conservative too skilled. When they got up 14-3, all of a sudden he want to hand the ball off. The man dealing. Let him throw it. Let him run. He was getting out of the pocket, getting first down with his legs. Now all of a sudden you want to try to establish the run. Once my guy's dealing, I'm going to keep letting him deal that hot hand. But Dougie P, and he's always done that. That's why I said I think this has been not one of his better years of calling plays. But Mike, we've been asking you this back and forth. Are you convinced that Jalen Hurts is the quarterback of the future for the Eagles? Because that's, I think, all this other stuff, nothing else matters. Because that's what people want to know.
And at the quarterback position, it's all about building. It's all about what can you get out of the player? What do you see in him that you can build around? What can you generate in terms of offense? How much more offense can you bring to the table in terms of, his athleticism, his competence and everything that he brings to the table versus the guy that you have in place now. So it's a lot of decisions that has to be made. But moving forward, if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles in ownership, I'm going with Jalen Hurts for the future because we can do so much more offense moving forward.
Agreed. There was one quick play I want to talk about yesterday when Jalen was in a foot race to the edge with Jalen Smith of the Cowboys, who can fly. and he just effortlessly and seeming to it's like deceptive speed. And he turned the corner on him. And I said, that is real speed.
Yeah, he kicked dust up in Jalen's face.
Hey, seriously.
He got D-Law too.
Yeah, he got him too. So, Michael, last question. Gut feeling next week, Dallas at Giants, Washington football team at Eagles. How does this play out?
You know what? To the Cowboys' credit, I think they go into New York and I think they beat them. I think Andy Dalton and his experience to get them through this game, obviously his leadership is going to be very important throughout the week in terms of getting the team ready. Offensively,